Hey everybody, Lucas Yopolo here, and welcome to the first episode of Joining the Ranks, a brand new series on this channel where I'll be taking a deep dive into the fandom by ranking my least favorite to favorite characters, hosts, shows, seasons, and everything in between in multiple animated reality series, and giving the reasons for my picks. For our first countdown, we'll be looking at the contestants of Disventure Camp Season 1, the season that first introduced me to Odd Nation Cartoon's masterpiece when it popped up on my YouTube feed 3 years back, and ignited my obsession with it ever since. Before I start, I want to say that all these opinions are completely my own, so I don't expect everyone to agree with my viewpoint. All I ask is that my decisions are respected the same way I respect the decisions of the fandom. Now that I've gotten that off my chest, let's join the ranks. Number 14, Ellie. This least favourite pick might shock a lot of you, but it's safe to say that I lost all respect for Ellie by the tail end of Season 1. At first she seemed like an interesting character who could be very complex and had a high chance at winning like she did in the beta version, Drama Total Aventura. I could excuse a lot of the backstabbing she did early on as strategic gameplay without drawing too much attention to herself, but soon enough, the game went to her head and she thrived off of making others miserable for her own amusement. The final nail in the coffin was when she victim-shamed Jake in the cave challenge of Season 1, and from that moment on became a bully for her own sick pleasure, especially in All-Stars. Thankfully, she was able to come back down to earth by the time the Tom Jake spin-off series arrived, thanks to Tessa's Blindside. Number 13, Alec. Like Ellie, Alec started off as a great strategist who flew under the radar, but he too would sell his soul for a more manipulative approach, especially on those who were more vulnerable or in his eyes more inferior. At first I felt a bit sorry for him as he was in the beginning stages of a bitter divorce, but in All-Stars, that mindset of mine vanished as we get to learn what a neglectful husband and father he truly was. He seemed to prioritize books, booze, and a child who isn't even his over his own flesh and blood, without acknowledging any accountability, blaming everything else but himself. By the end of his tenure on All-Stars, it seemed he was finally on his way to taking responsibility for himself. But the start of Fans vs. Favorites shattered that illusion. All I can hope now is he follows through with his decision to better himself after some reflection at the Saluna Island Motel, and puts it into practice after the season wraps. Number 12, Fiore. Ah, the demon child. I'll admit she is a clever villain that none of the viewers would have expected when she first debuted, but you can't deny the fact that she was a real sociopathic brat in Season 1, who I couldn't root for in the competition at all. Still, Fiore has become a lot more complex as the series continued, looking more into her unorthodox upbringing with resentful parents, and instead of being a cartoony villain for the sake of it, became more three-dimensional and a more sassy comeback queen. Number 11, Nick. Sorry, Sour Guts, but I can't put your favourite any higher than this. I really do like Nick, don't get me wrong, but I felt that he was better utilised in the beta series than he was in Disventure Camp. In the latter, we didn't really get to see him develop anywhere near as much, and acted more as an upper-middle-class twit than someone who wanted to forge his own path away from his well-to-do family. Maybe if a second chance season happens, he may finally get the focus he deserves, but for now, we'll just have to manage with his funny moments and the Nick greetings where he's the main attraction. Number 10, Will. After Season 1's second episode, it was obvious that Will was going to be the first boot, but the idea of an omniphobic individual who tried to step out of his comfort zone was able to gain my full respect, and I couldn't help but root for this lovable giant. It's a shame that his development happened more off-screen than on, but beginning a relationship with Ashley did him a lot of wonders, and by the time he appeared in the second season of Tom Jake, he finally gained the potential I knew he had all along. Number 9, Lil. Lil originally piqued my interest more than any other character when I began watching Disventure Camp, and not just because I grew up watching her inspiration Lillian Morris on Survivor Pearl Islands. The idea of a Girl Scout leader taking charge of her team was something wholesome to watch in a cutthroat competition, and she deserved more credit where it was due in the series. Number 8, Dan. Many consider Dan to be incredibly boring, but I never saw that in the slightest. Of all the Disventure Camp characters who played a good, honest game under the radar, he's the first character I tend to think of. He never really had any beef with the other campers. He never made any moves that drew attention to himself as a comp threat, and his elimination was solely the result of a miscommunication and a lack of allies. Safe to say the purple dude needs to get his rightful recognition. Number 7, Gret. Most of you would think that Gret was just as despicable as Alec and Fiore were in Season 1, which is true, but in my opinion she was the original sassy comeback queen before Fiore took over the throne in that position. When All Stars came along, she gained my respect by doing her best to grow as a human being despite her more villainous moves that season, and she became the ultimate anti-hero of the competition that I found myself rooting for. I also was able to connect with her well-written abuse arc as I was an abuse survivor myself, and I was able to gain more insight into this divisive character, and by the time All Stars wrapped, Brett had become one of the best elements that controversial season had to offer. Number 6. Drew. To say I was gutted when Drew became the second boot is a real understatement. A groundbreaking character with selective mutism stemming from social anxiety who communicated solely through a notepad was something new that I'd never seen portrayed before. And to me, he was a big-hearted kid who saw the best in everyone and kept the game in perspective. It's personalities like his that I look for the most in human beings, and it's about time that the fandom see how adorable he truly is instead of just being there in his season. Besides, he was invited to Tom and Jake's wedding for a reason. Number 5. Ashley. In my eyes, Ashley became the leader that Lil could have been, and whether she was solely a support character or not, you can't deny that she is as much of a stand-up individual as one can get. She did everything in her power to right the wrongs she made in her past on the farm, she offered understanding to good people left misguided by life's circumstances, and never stood for any nonsense from her more ruthless teammates. For me, Ashley was the glue that held so many people on her teams and friend circle together, and is the definition of a true champion, whether or not she won the million. Number 4. Gabby. Despite having what I consider a poorly written schizophrenia arc, Gabby's heart was always a pure one. Her love for animals and nature, bringing out the best in Ellie, and standing firm for what she believes in is a testament to that. She always has a way of making every episode seem brighter and fun. Plus, her eccentricities help people who grew up without good social connections and some medical conditions feel seen. Gabby also happens to be one of the few Disventure Camp characters to excel in both physical and mental challenges, and this gives me more reason to believe that she is one of the best players to ever come out of the series. Number 3. Tom. Personally, I wasn't interested in any element of Tom's story until the mask literally came off, and the spy arc I found to be a bit boring, but he would soon develop into so much more than the mysterious one. As the series continued, he became more human, and although I don't condone many of his actions, from being closed-minded to ghosting someone he really cared about for 2 years, he became the lovable goof most people in the fandom love today. After shedding the mask, Tom unveiled many layers, and we got to learn about his traumatic tragedy of an upbringing, how it made him super protective of himself as well as those he loved, and we even got to see the guy fall in love and learn from his mistakes. A true hero indeed. Number 2. Miriam. In reality competitions, older contestants are usually discredited by their much younger team, and then there's Miriam, who single-handedly flipped this narrative upside down. We, the audience, got to see her shed her grumpy personality, come to terms with a horrible family tragedy, create a brand new family for those who needed it the most, outsmart the more villainous players on multiple occasions, play the game how it should be played, and eventually win the entire thing without getting a single vote against her. The Queen of Disventure Camp is the whole package, and to this day, I believe she is the best winner the series has ever seen. Bow down to La Reina. Number 1. Jake. Okay, most of you would have seen this coming as I'm an unapologetic Jake fan, and a lot of you probably disagree with this pick entirely, but I'll try my best to explain. Jake is by no means a perfect character in the slightest, but to me, that is his biggest appeal. He is human, he makes mistakes, and even though there were times he couldn't be the man he wanted to be in life, he always wanted to keep on trying and wanted to become a better person. Years of mistreatment from those you love in familial or romantic settings leaves one with a lot of unresolved trauma. It can lead to major trust issues, and you eventually expect everyone to hurt you or replace you. Knowing this from personal experience, I think Jake's arc in the competition was a complicated one, but a powerful and bittersweet one, written as perfectly as possible. It's characters like Jake that manage to capture the true spirit of the human element, especially when reality competitions tend to put this on full display, and makes those like him feel seen and connect with the story on a personal level. This is something I've noticed that Odd Nation Cartoons seemingly sets out to achieve with their series, and for these reasons, Jacob Hamilton Reed remains my undisputed favourite Disventure Camp character of all time. And there we go, my rankings for the characters introduced in Season 1 of Disventure Camp. Hopefully you enjoyed this first episode of Joining the Ranks, and if so, be sure to tune in next time where I discuss the contestants who first played in Disventure Camp's second season. And while you're at it, let me know in the comments down below how you would rank the campers mentioned in today's video, whether you agree or disagree with my opinions. I love you for watching, and remember to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified for all my latest videos.
Bye!